time is always right to do what is right. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Nothing in the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. I have a dream that my four little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Only in the darkness can you see the stars. You can kill the dreamer, but you can't kill the dream. We are not makers of history. We are made by history. I have a dream that one day right there in Alabama, little black boys and little black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. Nonviolence demands that the means we use must be as pure as the ends we seek. In some not too distant tomorrow, the radiant stars of love and brotherhood will shine over our great nation with all their scintillating beauty. One day we will learn that the heart can never be totally right when the head is totally wrong. We must walk on in the days ahead with an audacious faith in the future. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? We must use time creatively, in the knowledge that the time is always right to do right. Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. It does not matter how long you live, but how well you do it. But no one really knows why they are alive until they know what they die for. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. We have flown the air like birds and swum the sea like fishes, but have yet to learn the simple act of walking the earth like brothers. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at a table of brotherhood. We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. I want to be the white man's brother, not his brother-in-law. Change does not roll in on the wheels of inevitability, but comes through continuous struggle. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a highway, just be a trail. If you can't be a sun, be a star. For it isn't by size that you win or fail. Be the best of whatever you are. Even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. I can never be what I ought to be until you are what you ought to be. This is the interrelated structure of reality. The beauty of genuine brotherhood and peace is more precious than diamonds or silver or gold. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Almost always, the creative, dedicated minority has made the world better. For when people get caught up with that which is right and they are willing to sacrifice for it, there is no stopping point short of victory. If I cannot do great things, I can do small things in a great way. We may have all come on different ships, but we're in the same boat now. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. Ekenim. We must learn that passively to accept an unjust system is to cooperate with that system, and thereby to become a participant in its evil. The difference between a dreamer and a visionary is that a dreamer has his eyes closed and a visionary has his eyes open. You will change your mind. You will change your looks. You will change your smile, laugh, and ways. But no matter what you change, you will always be you. Everything that we see is a shadow cast by that which we do not see. The art of acceptance is the art of making someone who has just done you a small favor wish that he might have done you a greater one. When you are right, you cannot be too radical. When you are wrong, you cannot be too conservative. Every man must decide whether he will walk in the light of creative altruism or in the darkness of destructive selfishness. Shallow understanding from people of goodwill is more frustrating than absolute misunderstanding from people of ill will. We must substitute courage for caution. Courage is the power of the mind to overcome fear. A man who won't die for something is not fit to live. Courage is an inner resolution to go forward despite obstacles. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. We must build dikes of courage to hold back the flood of fear. Never be afraid to do what's right, especially if the well-being of a person or animal is at stake. Society's punishments are small compared to the wounds we inflict on our soul when we look the other way. There is nothing more majestic than the determined courage of individuals willing to suffer and sacrifice for their freedom and dignity. Courageous men never lose the zest for living, even though their life situation is zestless. Cowardly men, overwhelmed by the uncertainties of life, lose the will to live. Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend. I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Hatred paralyzes life. Love releases it. Hatred confuses life. Love harmonizes it. Hatred darkens life. Love illuminates it. There can be no deep disappointment where there is not deep love. It may be true that the law cannot make a man love me, but it can keep him from lynching me, and I think that's pretty important. He who is devoid of the power to forgive is devoid of the power to love. I know that love is ultimately the only answer to mankind's problems. Man must evolve for all human conflict a method which rejects revenge, aggression, and retaliation. The foundation of such a method is love. Hate is just as injurious to the hater as it is to the hated. Like unchecked cancer, hate corrodes the personality and eats away its vital unity. Many of our inner conflicts are rooted in hate. Love is the greatest force in the universe. It is the heartbeat of the moral cosmos. He who loves is a participant in the being of God. You know, a lot of people don't love themselves, and they go through life with deep and haunting emotional conflicts. So the length of life means that you must love yourself. And you know what loving yourself also means. It means that you've got to accept yourself. If one loves an individual merely on account of his friendliness, he loves him for the sake of the benefits to be gained from the friendship, rather than for the friend's own sake. Consequently, the best way to assure oneself that love is disinterested is to have a love for the enemy neighbor from whom you can expect no good in return, but only hostility and persecution.